Welcome to my 2023 bullet journal setup. As you can see, I am still using my journal that I have been using throughout 2022 just because there is still a lot of pages left over and I really don't want to start a new one. So we're going to continue this journal that I have been using. But anyways, let's just get into the setup. So for this year's theme, I went with like a feathery sort of theme and was trying to go for like a flying in the sky, touch the sky sort of theme to kind of set up a inspirational feel to it. And the main colors that I ended up going with was red, which I mainly use for the feathers, a light gray, which is just an accent color, and black, which I use to outline the boxes and to also draw these thin lines at the corner of the pages. So those are my three colors that I ended up choosing. And the reason that I ended up going with red feathers is because while I was doing the setup, we were kind of decorating, and one of the things that we decorate for the holidays with are these birds. There's different types of birds that we use. There's like unknown birds, owls, and the red bird that is commonly associated with the holiday season. I think it's a cardinal bird, but yeah, they have red feathers. So that is where I ended up thinking about doing red feathers, was from that, being reminded of the cardinal bird, which I hope it is, but yeah. And also to accompany my cover page, I also did some words around the lining of it, which reads, "You have more power than you know, the sky is always open, and don't be afraid to jump." I just felt like the page needed a little bit more stuff to it, so I just added those quotes really quickly. Yeah, overall this is going to be my theme for the whole rest of the pages, are these feathers, which I ended up really liking. And I did outline them after I was finished, but I didn't show that. For the second page of my setup is my monthly goals page. I drew 12 boxes, 4 boxes for each row, and they are correlated with each month of the year. And basically for each month, I am going to choose one main goal that I am going to try to accomplish for that month. And by the end of the year, I should hopefully be able to have 12 completed goals. The only month that I gave a goal to was January. And for January, my goal is to update all of my current Etsy listing photos to the new updated version one. Just because my old one is kind of bland a little bit. So I wanted to update all my listing photos, at least the thumbnails. So that is my goal for January. Currently, I have not thought of any other monthly goals, but once January gets here, hopefully I will fill out at least the first 4 months. And I did go in, color in the headers with red and the gray. I didn't want to fully use red for each box just because I felt like if I did, the page would overfill with the color red, so I just switched between the two colors. What I'm thinking is that I am going to switch between personal goals and business goals just to kind of get like a balance with them. But like I said, I'll figure out what I want to put in here later on. And then for the third page, it is my ideas slash brainstorming page. I broke it into 3 sections. The first section is a blog idea section, just because I do kind of have a blog on my personal website. I have that section, and then the next section is a reel section, and then the last section is a YouTube section. It's pretty obvious, but I'm going to use this to kind of have all my ideas in one section instead of me having it in random places on my phone on random piece of papers. And then the page after that is my general goals page, where I am just going to write down a whole bunch of goals and block them out whenever I finish them. And for this page, I did include a quote, which was when you believe even a heavy rock can fly. So that was the quote I put right here. I did write a goal, but I don't remember what it was. Never mind, I can see it. It basically is just what I said I was going to do for January, was change all my listing photos on Etsy. That is the only goal that I have on there right now. Then I wrote another one apparently, and I can't see it, but you can probably see it later. And then for my final section of my bullet journal setup is my schedule for the week, and it's just basically a general way that my week is going to go, at least how they usually go right now. So I did include each day, Monday through Sunday, and I'm basically just going to break it down. On Mondays, okay, so on the weekdays, I'm going to start off my days with the social media. Basically, usually this is the time when I'll just answer emails, edit quick videos, and upload and schedule my posts for Instagram. And I did color this section blue. And usually, okay, so on Mondays and Fridays, this section goes until like around 9 o'clock, whereas the rest of the week, it stops like around 8:30. The reason Monday and Friday are longer is because those are the days is when I tend to upload videos. So I do take a little bit more time on social media because I had to schedule out like stories showing that a video was up. And then after the social media section, I am coloring the section yellow, and this is just to symbolize a break. Mondays and Fridays do have a longer break just because I am doing more stuff, so I think I deserve a longer break basically. And then whereas the other days have a more shorter break. Then after that break, we have a business section where I usually just focus on stuff related to my Etsy shop, usually like packing orders, editing photos, stuff like that. Because that stuff takes a long time, I made these sections very long. Then following that section, I have another break. This break is a little bit longer just because doing stuff like editing really like strains my eyes, and like working on stuff like that, it strains my eyes, so I just want to take a long break so I don't have to like look at a computer. And then after that break, it is dinner time. And then after dinner time, the last section of the day is basically a day where I can do anything that I want to. Anything I want to is basically a personal time basically. And then on the weekends, I start off the days with the break just because it takes a little bit longer to get in the mood to do stuff. And then on Saturday, I do anything I want to, but with the purpose. Basically that is just me doing something with the intention to, doing something that has a due purpose to it. So like reading a book, but with the intention of doing a review on it, or like creating an artwork, but with the intention of using it as a art print to sell on my Etsy shop. You know, basically stuff like that. Whereas on Sunday, that section, it can be split into 2 days. It just depends on what I have to do. I can either use it as working on my Etsy shop or anything related to that, or use that section to work on my social media or anything related to that. It just depends on what I have to do and if there's like tasks that I need to do. After that break, I believe is a dinner time. Again, dinner time is really long just because it's the weekend. And then to end off the day, we have a little section for Saturday. That section is just basically doing whatever I want, doesn't really matter, personal time basically. Whereas on Sunday, that last section is dedicated to planning out the week, figuring out what I'm going to do for that week in regards to videos, you know, stuff like that. And that is pretty much how I want my ideal week to be. I'm going to try to stick with it as best I can. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to, and I hope you have a nice day, morning, or night. Bye. Later.